Welcome to math class. So, we're going to start with the differentiation, and very first topic is first principle. What is first principle and what is actually the differentiation? Differentiation is a method of finding the derivative of a function. Differentiation is a process in maths where we find instantaneous rate of change in a function based on one of its variable, such as if you consider would like to solve a problem by the method of differentiation. Say example, x square. Indeed, x is the variable and we have to differentiate by a variable which is x actually. So d over dx is an operator. This is the operator of a differentiation. So we actually differentiate this function which is x square with respect to x. This is actually the differentiation. So what would be its value of x square? So the differentiation, we should have a operator. So this is the operator of a differentiation, and if it is x which is the variable, top of the x is n. Indeed, the rules of this differentiation is n x n minus 1. So this is the very fundamental rule of differentiation. Now we have to start with the very first topic, that is first principle. So if it is a function f of x, let's say this is x. So function of x is equals to x. X is the function. Now if we use the first principle, so we could write down the first order differentiation by the use of first principle. F of x is equals to limit h tends to 0 function of x plus h minus f of x over h. So this is actually the definition of first principle of differentiation. So this is actually the whole rule. As we are differentiate x the function, so this is the answer. This is the rule we have to follow. So what will be the final value? Let's try. So h tends to 0, and here what is the function of fx plus fx plus h? So if it is fx is equals to x, so f of x plus h means x plus h, and f of x is equals to x. So let's plug in the x and over h. So this one cancel out, and of course in the following line, this h and this h is equals to 1. So we could write down limit h tends to 0, and here is 1. So if we, by the way, this will be 0, so the answer will be 1. So another problem, if the function f of x is equals to x square, and this time of course we are going to use the first principle for the differentiation. Indeed, by using the first order or first principle, we could write down the definition of first principle. F of x is equals to limit h tends to 0. Numerator will be f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Now limit h tends to 0 over h, and what is f of x plus h? So f of x is equals to x squared. So plug in within the x square, I mean, instead of x, we have to plug in the value of x plus h, right? So x plus h whole square, and f of x is equals to x square, same as, let's put in the value. So this is limit tends to 0 h. So this is very fundamental formula of algebra, a plus b whole square. So what we have to write, so x square plus 2x h plus square plus, pardon, this will be minus, bigger pardon. So this x square cancel out. The following line will be h tends to 0. And here, if you plug in the value of 0 in h, so what will be the result? So numerator, there is something, let's say 1, and if we plug in the value of 0 in h, so it will be infinity, which we should not attempt, right? So we can't plug in the value right now. So the fundamental policy will be cancel the h. So indeed, numerator, we common the value of h, I mean the h. So here 2x plus h and h here. So this way, this is cancel out. The following line will be limit h tends to 0, and here 2x plus h. Now the following line, if we plug in the value of h here, so what will be the result? 2x plus 0. So the final answer will be 2x, right? So the final answer will be 2x. So this is the answer for x square. This problem determine the first principles, the gradient function for the curve. So this is the function, and obviously this function is belongs to a curve, and for x equals to 3 we have to evaluate the value as well. So let's find what is the value by using the first principle. So by the definition of first principle, f of x is equals to limit h tends to 0, and here f of x plus h plus f of x, limit h tends to 0, and here what will be the value? So f of x, so f of x is equals to 2x square minus x, and here f of x means f of x plus h. So plug in the value of x plus h instead of x. So this will be 2 and x plus h whole square and minus the value of x plus h instead of this x. So x plus h. Okay, by the way, this will be minus, beg your pardon. So this will be minus, and f of x means 2x square minus x, and obviously we have to use a bracket, otherwise we make a mistake or mess up. So please try to use the first bracket, or maybe other bracket, doesn't matter. Anyways, now the following line, limit h tends to 0, here h, and if we use the basic rule of algebra, a plus b whole square. So we could write down x square plus 2xh plus h square here minus x minus h here 2x square, and this will be plus x, right? And here will be a bracket. So this x cancel out. The following line will be limit h tends to 0. So here 2x square plus 4xh 2h square minus h minus 2x square. So x square to x square cancel out, and of course h. Now we can't plug in the value of h, otherwise it will become infinity. So let's simplify more. H tends to 0. Here if we take h as a common term, so this will be 4x plus 2h minus 1 over h. So this h, this is cancel out. Okay, let's use the different pen. So limit h tends to 0, and what left? 4x plus 2h minus 1. Now plug in the value of h in h. So the final result will be look like 4x plus 0 minus 1. So the final answer is 4x minus 1. If x equals to 3, what will be the result for the function, right? By using first order. So f of x is equals to 4x minus 1. This is our answer. Now instead of x, what we have to use? We have to use here 3, because the value of x equals to 3. So instead of 4x, what we have to plug in? 4.3 minus 1. So the final answer will be 11. So this is the final answer, or the other part of this question answer.